Well, she has stood at the symbolic heart of the Lone Star State ever since that bloody battle back in 1836 and the defeat, rallying Texans to gain independence from Mexico. And now the iconic Alamo finds itself in the midst of another high-profile fight as a new call to arms for control of the famed site's future. Following decades of neglect and disrepair, the push is on to give the Alamo a much-needed facelift. This week, the state of Texas and the city of San Antonio now joining forces to help restore the landmark after the legendary Daughters of the Republic of Texas, who had been managing the Alamo since 1905, were fired by the Texas Land Office. This happening after evidence the Alamo had been in desperate need of repairs and that money wasn't being used properly to care for the site. Water leaks have led to years of cracked ceilings and walls along with rotting beams. All of this making for a Texas-sized dust-up over the hallowed grounds that propelled the legends of Davy Crockett, Jim Bowie, and Colonel William Barrett Travis. Joining us now, the director of the Alamo, Becky Dinnin, who is joining us now live from San Antonio. Welcome. Great to have you here today.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here. Thank you.
Well, I think so many folks around the country would be very surprised to know that this famed symbol for Texas liberty has gone for decades without major repairs that have been needed to preserve the site. Why has it taken so long to do something about this?
Well, we have actually recently done some significant repairs. The roof of the Alamo that was in need of a lot of help has been repaired, as well as the roof of the Long Barracks, the other area. So we have been addressing some of those needs over the last few years since the General Land Office took over oversight in 2011.
But it isn't
what we're looking forward to.
Yeah. I was going to say, but isn't it true you've had problems with water leaks where the beams are cracking and the walls and ceilings are cracking, and those have come after, you know, years and years of neglect?
Well, it's an old building, and we have taken a look at that and, of course, been watching that since we've had oversight and have been working on all of those issues. It's a 300-year-old building, and it's limestone. So we're in the middle of finishing up some studies on conservation and preservation to be able to help us prioritize and begin work on the other things that we see that are in need of repair, restoration, and some other types of really strong, powerful conservation efforts, as well as some preservation that needs to be done at the Alamo. It's actually an exciting time for us to go back in and use current technology to be able to help us find what really needs to be done, prioritize that, and then put some resources into that to be sure that the Alamo is here 300 years from now.
Oh, absolutely, and beyond. I know you really can't comment on the Daughters of the Republic of Texas organization due to a lawsuit that's been filed against the Texas Land Office and its commissioner. But since it was clear that repairs had been needed for some time, the repairs that you speak of about the roof have taken place. What's the biggest problem, though, that needs to be addressed first?
On the preservation, what we are seeing is the need to address what's called rising damp, and that is the area around the base gets wet when it and then it rises into the walls. And there are different technologies that are available now that we have talked to from people all over the world who are dealing with other limestone buildings and other buildings like that that are helping us to discover the best process and best way to stop that from happening as much. And we will begin, as soon as we understand it and know what pricing and things like that, we'll begin working on that.
The General Land Office and Texas Land Commissioner, which decided to make the change with the Daughters of the Republic of Texas, they are the ones that made the move to not renew their contract, and the Daughters put out this statement. We can put it on the screen here. For months, the Daughters of the Republic of Texas attempted in good faith to resolve differences of opinion with the state over the ownership and management of the DRT's library collection. The recent actions by the state, which occurred suddenly and without opportunity for meaningful dialogue, left the DRT with no alternative but to file the lawsuit. So going forward, I know that the city of San Antonio is going to be putting up about $1 million and working with the state to get the necessary funding to move ahead?
Yes, we announced yesterday that we're going to be working with the City of San Antonio on a master planning process. There has been a revival of downtown San Antonio, and the Alamo complex includes a portion of the Alamo Plaza. It's a different section that's owned by the City of San Antonio. So we're going to be working together with the city to be sure that we can restore that area. What happens when you come into downtown San Antonio. It's the Alamo, of course, is in the center, in the heart of San Antonio, and sometimes a little hard to find. But it's also a little broken up with streets and different types of things, and we want to revision how we can make that area a little more sacred and really stand for the things that we've been hearing from our community and from Texans that they want to see around the Shrine of Texas Liberty, and make it a little bit more hallowed ground. But we need the city's help, and we need the work of other key stakeholders in order to be able to make that happen and to do it right. The last time that this has been visioned from the city's perspective was 1994. So the commissioner has made the Alamo a priority for him, and it only makes sense in our planning process to work with the city so that we're working side by side and not two parallel different plans. It's exciting, though, to be able to see that there's this ability to be able to do it, that there are resources, because our needs are significant. We want to develop a museum and visitor center that's worthy of the Alamo and the Alamo story.
Absolutely.
There's not currently a museum.
Absolutely. No, it's a wonderful
just can't
site.
Wait to see what's going to come out of that.
No, absolutely. It's a wonderful site and something that is truly precious to Texas. And I thank you so much for joining us today and sharing with us the good news about the future of the Alamo, Becky. Thank you.
Thank you. Come see us soon.
I will.
Okay.